right, this has been an awesome weekend. I got a text from Brian, and the only thing he said was, don't jack this up. All right, we've had a great weekend thus far. All right, words of encouragement from Upline Diamond. But how many of you guys excited to be here and excited to get free? Well, really quick, before we get started, I don't want, let me hear you if you're brand new. All right, I don't want to confuse you guys. You got to understand what tonight is, what tonight represents. Tonight represents brand new diamonds. That's what tonight represents. We're blessed to be on stage. Thank you, Larry and Pam, for having us up here. And, one of my goals, I was happy to be on this side of the stage. A lot of people ask, how does it feel? It feels great. All right, but this seat is not going to be warm too long. Because next 24 months, our goal is to be right over here with our leaders, with our heroes, these diamonds over here. So give these guys a hand. But we are Manny and Candace Winston. We're right from Richmond, Virginia. Background's really quick. I was high school educated. I actually went to college for 2 years, and everybody goes to college for the exact same reason pretty much. I heard that, you got to get good grades, go to college, get a good job. Well, I walked in my first info session and I found out that that wasn't true. All right, I found out that if you wanted to be successful, you needed to be an entrepreneur. So because of that, I had pretty good grades. I had a 3.0 GPA average, but because of that, I decided to opt out of school. I'm not saying that's what you need to do or anything like that, but that was, that's my background when I saw the business. And I worked about 65 hours a week while being in school full-time, taking 16 credit hours. All right, and when I walked in, I wasn't a broke college kid. A lot of people say, well, I'm a broke college kid. I had $8,500 in the bank that I saved up because my mentality was I didn't want to have the, same background or same traits that my family had growing up. So that's why I worked my guts out. All right, and Candace's background is in chemistry. She graduated from Virginia Commonwealth University, and she is a chemist full-time, so obviously she has the beauty and the brains. All right, so I'm going to let you talk about how we met because I don't think they'll believe it, so I'm going to let it come out of your mouth. So
it's okay. You can tell them that I stalked you, and I did. I stalked you throughout my college campus while you were doing meetings, and I saw what I wanted, and I got what I wanted.
Oh, wow. There we go. So that's how we met, and I got what I wanted, though. There we go. All right, so that's how we met, guys, and what's really cool is, she came to our first info session, and she'll tell her story, but she was not interested in the business at all. All right, but my mindset, my mentality, this was what I was going to do long term. I was going to build a legacy for my family. So I was like, my wife is going to do what I'm doing. All right, because, I'm a little bit different than some guys out there. See what I'm saying? That let their wives kind of get them out of the business or whatever it may be. But that's where we were, or where I was when, Candace first got into business. And, she'll tell you guys, kind of, how she really grew up in the business and, some of the changes and clicks that she made. I think when I got in, when you got in, I had like 50 or so people.
About 50 to 60 people coming to conferences.
Okay, so 50 to 60 people coming to conferences. This was in 2014. All right, now, your first conference was our summer conference, but then you came here, 2014, and since she's gotten in business, I'm going to tell y'all the secret. We've grown by 100 people going to functions every single year since Candace Winston got in business.
Yeah, you just need a little motivation. I think I did that.
All right, so I think we found out who the secret was because we have over 350 people here this weekend. But one of her things when she got in and she said, Manny, I want to make a name for myself. And I'm going to let her share here, but, what I respect her for is saying, look, I know we're going to, at the time, I know we're dating, but I want to be able to win. I want to be able to change lives. I just don't want to be Manny Winston's girlfriend. All right, so, I actually qualified Emerald as a single guy at 25 years old, but Candace qualified Platinum as a single lady at 24 years old, and she was my third Platinum lead. And throughout that entire process, All right. Not to mention, building the business. She was obviously working a professional job. And, I kind of threw a wrench in there because we got engaged in late December and we got married in June. So she actually planned our entire wedding. All right. So I didn't do anything. I can't take the credit for that.
You did not do a thing at all.
All right. You didn't have to say that. All right. But, I'm blessed to have a warrior chick. I'm blessed to have somebody that wants to win. And somebody that has the mindset of, I'm always going to get what I want. So with that, Candace Winston.
Thank you. Oh, well, this is surreal. Oh, this is so exciting. I know Manny already said it, but I do want to thank our Diamond leaders and Larry and Pam winners for giving us this opportunity to be on this stage. This is an honor, and we are not confused. We know that tonight is a night that we celebrate diamonds, and we only hope that we can help inspire by talking about our journey from Emerald as we now go diamond as well. Because Emerald was not the goal, it's just a passing through point. And Manny talked a little bit about my background. I am still currently in chemistry, working full-time in the Richmond, Virginia area, but I'll only be working for 2 more weeks. That'll be coming to an end soon. And Manny is right. When I first saw the business opportunity, it was because Manny kept the business a secret from me for a long time. I think he was protecting himself. He was protecting his brand. He was protecting his mind and just trying to get to know the woman that has now entered his life. And I think there's a tip in that. He wanted to protect himself. And when he did introduce me to the business, I saw everything. I didn't necessarily think it was, some scam or something that wasn't legit because Manny was already making really good money, but I almost thought that this just wasn't for me. That's the exact words that I told Manny after the info session. It seems more like your thing, not mine. And the reason I said that, it wasn't because, it didn't work, obviously, but it was more because I had a very low self-image. I didn't think that I could be successful at something like this. And that's because I thought I didn't have the right education system for it. I thought, that I grew up different, so I couldn't be successful at something like this. Not knowing that we were being provided a team, a business system to help guide us to success in this business. So I got to meet a lot more of the team. Brian and Karen McGrath, our upline diamonds, reached out and spoke with me, never judged me for any of my decisions, never judged me for my pathway because I was in college at the time and I was one of your real rough college students. I didn't go to class much, but that was, they didn't judge me for anything. And Larry and Pam winners, just every time I got the chance to speak with them, they were some of the first people that I even met in business, thanks to Brian and Karen, and just being able to hear and see their story, see their lifestyle, and I fell in love with the culture of this team. I fell in love, and when I fell in love, I became really committed. So, I sold out. I got started in business with Manny, and Manny mentioned it, but, I didn't want to be labeled as Manny Winston's girlfriend. He was a big fish in a little pond out in Richmond, Virginia. He was the hot shot, Mr. Platinum, 14 months went platinum, and all this other stuff. So when I did get registered with him in business, I immediately did not become an IBO. I became, Manny Winston's girlfriend's doing this with him. And ladies, if you are a personality type like me and you have a little bit of sass, you have a little bit of choleric in you and a little bit of diva, so that doesn't fly. So I didn't like that too much. And decided that I wanted to make a quote-unquote name for myself in this business. And I started doing the work. But as I started doing the work, I realized that trying to create a quote-unquote name for myself was a tad bit selfish. I was trying to create a name for myself for me and not the team. And things started switching over a little bit as I fell in love with the process of working with people, fell in love with helping my upline meet their goals. And I fell in love with becoming an example. Instead of trying to create a name for me, I wanted to create an example for the team. And that's a big difference. That is a big difference. And things just kind of started blowing up from there. So that's why when Manny, he had identified leg number 1, he identified leg number 2, it was a no-brainer that I wanted to be a part of his journey in going Emerald. And I said, I volunteer as tribute. I'd love to be your leg number 3. And maybe I'll get a ring out of it as well. And I did. So it worked itself out. But that was a journey, and it's been a wonderful journey. I can always say that I was a part of Manny going emerald, and not for him to have the emerald name or the emerald title. It's a pin level, and that's absolutely wonderful. But to be an impact and to break some different barriers, that's what I was excited about. And I think that's a decision that we both made. We both made a decision to be an example. And to me, I think that's just what we call a winning decision. Now, as I look down here at the white tablecloth tables with all the diamonds, the double diamonds sitting there, what I see are people that have made a lot of different decisions than people in this arena. They've been able to differentiate the average decision from the winning decision. And that's tough. A lot of us are very used to making average decisions way before we got in this business, right? If we're a little tired, then we decide to, I'm just going to kick my feet up and watch Netflix for the night. That was a decision we made before business. But now we have something we can be productive in. That probably would be an average decision instead of going out there and shaking somebody's hand, right? So we change into making winning decisions. And I believe in order to gain what the results that you want from this business, you have to make a lot more winning decisions than average decisions. That's my personal belief. And a lot of you everybody in this room, you've already made a winning decision. You're here this weekend. I know that it was probably difficult. You had different obstacles to get here this weekend. You may have come from a disaster area. You may have had some financial troubles getting here. You may not have just had the time to get here, job complications, whatever it may be, but you made the decision to win and get here this weekend. Manny and I could have decided as well to make not so winning decisions this past year, especially with everything on the plate that we both had. He did say he threw me a curveball. Trust me, once you go gold and you see platinum is the goal, and then all of a sudden somebody proposes to you and you have to plan a wedding now and moving to a home, and you both are coming from your parents' houses, which means you have no furniture to move into a home. So you now have to fill the entire house that you've now finally found and purchased, on top of still working a full-time job. There could have been a lot of average decisions made in that process. One of the biggest average decisions that we could have made was just to postpone everything when it came to going platinum and going emerald single. We could have done it while married, but that would not have been an impact, all right? So you're going to have to make some decisions. You're going to have to, make some winning decisions in your life. You're going to have to not let your life circumstances, all right, trick you into making average decisions. You're going to have to not let those sleepy eyes that you have, probably in the audience tonight too, it's been a packed weekend, all right, and the tired body that you feel after long nights defeat you and make you give up on your journey. You're going to have to forget the negative people out there that are not even paying your bills and have nowhere close to a dream like you do, and stop letting them negate you from making winning decisions. And most of all, you have to make the decision not to let the nagging, weak world make you think that you have to be a certain color, a certain gender, a certain size, a certain personality type, a certain anything of whatever their standards are. You have to make the decision to forget all of that and win. And I'm just so thankful. I'm so thankful that I have a guy in my life that made a lot of different decisions, made some really big winning decisions before he met me, because he developed his financial freedom. And through that period of time, he has stayed consistent, he has stayed focused, and he has had his dream on diamond. And in the course of that, his financial freedom is developed, our legacy has been created and is still being created. And most of all, you've earned my freedom. And I appreciate you making the decisions in our household. I love you, babe.
Love you. She's too good for me. All right, guys, let me hear you. You're a single guy in the building. Let me hear you. Get your with, and they don't care what you look like. I'm kidding. Just saying. I have a lot of girls that are like, well, a lot of guys like, man, I want to date that girl on my team, and they have 2 legs. I'm like, well, I'm not going to tell you to go pursue that person because I don't want them working a job forever. Just saying. All right? If you got 2 legs, I'm not telling some random girl on my team to get with you. All right? But anyways, how many of you guys have learned in our business that it teaches you how to think differently? All right? That's what our business does. I literally grew up in this business. I was a pretty much 19-year-old kid when I got in this. And what it did is it taught me how to think. All right? So just recently, I was on Facebook, and a friend of mine posted a status, and what he said, do you think that Beyonce, it's the most random story in the world, but do you think that Beyonce cooks for Jay-Z? You think she cooks food for Jay-Z? And a lot of people are commenting on this status, and he's a close friend of mine, so I inboxed him. I said, I highly doubt she cooks for Jay-Z. All right? And the reason I said that, all right, there's nothing wrong with cooking for your man or anything like that. I think Candace has cooked like 3 meals for me since we've been together or something like that. She has some mean, good barbecue chicken. All right, that's her thing. She can cook barbecue chicken, steak, and fried chicken. All right? But I said, do you know why she probably doesn't cook for Jay-Z? And he's like, no, I don't know why. And I said, well, wealthy people, this is what they do. They value their time more than anything else out there. All right, guys, you have to understand that time is the most valuable thing that you have. All right, so I go in and I'm telling them, hey, look, she probably doesn't. We have somebody that comes over today and cleans our house. All right, the reason is, it's not because we can't clean our own house. It's because if we're cleaning our house, then that's less people that we can be able to pour into. That's less time to be able to pour into our team. All right, so it's a different mindset and a different mentality that I've learned. So then this guy says, well, in my opinion, life is all about balance. And if I'm cutting my grass and cleaning my house, my life is balanced. And I think to myself, you're going to be poor forever. All right? And then he says to me, you can lose all you have tomorrow. All right, so you should be thankful for it today, and you should be happy that you're in the reality that you're in. That's what he said to me. All right, and when he said you can lose everything tomorrow, my thought is me and him don't serve the same God, and that's my personal belief. Because my mindset is this, that he's my source and supplier. So if anything ever happened tomorrow, I'd be okay. All right, But I also, when he said that, I thought about a Tony Robbins statement. Tony Robbins said, stop being afraid of what could go wrong and start being excited about what could go right. All right, what I found out is most people are afraid to go chase their dreams. They don't have faith that they'll be on this side of the tables. They don't have faith that they'll be there. All right, so what they do is they let everything stop them, and they let doubt creep in. But one of the things that I also thought when I was talking to that guy, he said, because he's like, man, if you're cutting your grass, you're cleaning your house, he's like, you can go back to reality at any time because you never know when something's going to happen. And then I thought to myself, who's to say that has to be your reality? How many of you guys understand that because you're in this business that you create your own reality? You now have the option to say, man, I'm going to be financially independent. You have the option to say, man, I'm going to build my business so I can get free. My mindset was, I haven't had a job for a couple of years because of the business and being smart, taking mentorship from my awesome upline, Brian and Cameron McGrath. I haven't had a job just because of that, but my mindset was this. If I don't get Emerald done, I got to go back to work. All right, and I hate working. I hate jobs. All right, so I made the decision a couple years ago that I'm not going to get married until I go Emerald. Some people think, man, that's a pretty crazy decision that you made. And some people are like, you're radical for making that decision. No, it doesn't have to take 5 to 10 years to do it. I made that decision 1.5 years ago. I didn't have a third leg, and guess what? I built a third leg, and we went Emerald. All right, but you guys have to understand, if you're in here tonight, you have control of the growth of your business. All right, so success is not an accident. All right, anything that you want to achieve, guys, you can achieve tonight. All right, so you have to make the decision leaving here, because I started thinking about what my reality was. And what my kids' reality was going to be. That's what I started thinking about, because reality says that next month, Candace and I's reality is we'll make 75 to 80 grand just next month. That's our reality. All right, our reality is we have 6 figures plus in the bank right now at 25 and 26 years old. On September 29th, our reality is we're going to be a free couple in America. So then I start thinking to myself, my children, being that we're going to be a free couple in America, will never, ever, ever, never see us work a job. They'll never know what it sees, what it looks like to have mommy and daddy go to work. And I start thinking about our amazing diamonds. How many of you guys know that the diamonds over here, their kids don't just live a good life, they live a great life. All right, and I wanted to be able to control my life. I knew this, my kids didn't have to struggle the way I struggled growing up. Why? Because I have the hands in full control of what my reality is going to be. All right, so, I looked at, I started thinking about some of the diamonds. I started thinking about the Winner's children. All right, Tara, Stephen, Ricky. Their reality, their whole life, they didn't have to cut the grass. They weren't, I don't think they were cleaning the house. Larry was talking about the other day how he has a cleaning crew. His cleaning crew is $500 a week that comes into the house today. All right, Stephen and Ricky's reality was they had 25 to 30 motocross bikes. That was their reality growing up. Joe and Mary Beth Markowitz, their kids, Jenna, Bradley, Lindsay. How many of you guys know that they have a really awesome reality? It's totally different than my reality growing up. All right, the other day I actually saw Mayak and Sage Ogala in the mall. And, I was walking, I saw Archer, and we start talking, and, Mayak drives a fancy little Tesla, and, I think he took it in for servicing, so they upgraded him and gave him a really nice Tesla with, like, the butterfly doors and all that. And Archer's like 6, and he was talking about how he wanted his daddy to buy the car. And Mayak's like, well, we're not going to buy it, Archer. And Archer's like, no, you have the money, Daddy. I know you have the money. I see it in your office all the time. This is 6-year-old kid. But it's the reality he created from winning and going diamond. All right, because Mayak's like, Archer, it could be worse. All right, but if you haven't seen anything else, you don't know that it could be worse. And then I look at my uplines, Brian and Cam McGrath, and I look at their boys. I look at Sam, Caden, and Jack. And I look at the fact that every single day, Brian and Karen are able to, wake up, get their boys ready for school. They have a hectic schedule throughout the day. It's cool being able to see, Karen be able to drive about 45 minutes because they have a special needs son, Caden. Be able to drive 45 minutes to, Fredericksburg, Virginia, and then come back while Brian's now picking up Sammy and picking up Jack, and then Sammy's going over to jiu-jitsu and slamming people. And, but what's crazy is those kids have no idea what most kids go through. They have no idea that mommy and daddy built a huge business, and because of that, they can spend every single day with mommy and daddy. So then I started thinking, man, what's Candace and I's reality going to be? What are our children's reality going to be? And this is what I know. Because we had access to this business team, and because we got the chance to not just be mentored, but accept mentorship in our lives, all right, our kids will see us as a diamond and beyond couple. So I ask you, what's going to be your reality? God bless.